Good morning, second grade students and families. It's great to see each and every one of you. Now, I wanted to make a special video today because over the past couple of weeks, I've had students coming up to me asking me the same questions about place value and how to write numbers and how to identify numbers and how to compare numbers. So I want to take the time today to make this video, to help you understand the different ways to write a number, identify a number, organize a number, and use this to compare. And we can possibly use this when we deal with addition and subtraction later on in the year. So if you want to work with me, that'd be great. All you need is a blank piece of paper, a pencil, and maybe a ruler to help you out. So let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and take your paper, turn it sideways. Very good. It doesn't really matter which way you turn it. And what I'd like you to do is recreate making this chart right here. All right. It is a horizontal line with 3 lines going straight down. Now you can use the entire paper for this chart. You just need those 3 sections. So go ahead and make that now. All right, so your chart is made. Now here's what I'd like you to do. Right here, I would like you to write the word hundreds, okay? Here, I'd like you to write the word tens, and over here, I'd like you to write the word ones. All right, now this may look familiar, this may be just an ordinary place value chart, but we're gonna use it for so much more today, all right? So we're gonna be able to use this chart to help us understand everything about numbers. So go ahead and write those now. You can pause the video and just copy this picture right here. All right, so you have your chart already made. We're gonna focus on one number today. We're gonna focus on the number 817, all right? It's a good number. Now, one thing that I just did and just showed you is the number form. So whenever you're being asked for number form, it looks like this. All right, now go ahead and read this number with me, 817. Wait a minute, if we turn that into words, we just changed it to word form. See, so already we've identified 2 ways to identify a number. We have the number form and the word form right there. See, those are the 2 most common and easiest ways to identify numbers. But I know in math class, you are being asked to do this in so many other different ways. I have seen you do place value charts. I've seen you do number lines. I've seen you do expanded forms, notation form, all sorts of forms. You're using blocks, you're using sticks. It can get confusing. This is why we want to simplify it with this chart. All right, so here we have the chart. Here we have our number. What's our number again? Very good, 817. All right, so it's real simple. If we look at the digits in 817, we have an 8, a 1, and a 7. Now, each one of these digits has a specific and very powerful place value. It's worth something. It's not really 8, 1, and a 7. It has different values. Now, to identify these values, we have to put them on the chart. Now, you know in reading, we read from the left to the right. Well, that's what we're going to do here too. We're going to read this number from the left to the right. So if we look at our left, it's the 8, isn't it? So we move that to the hundreds value, since the hundreds is on the left as well. So let's go ahead and move that 8 to the hundreds. All right, there we go. Next, we have the 1. The 1 is in the middle, so we're going to put the 1 in the tens place. And the 7, well, that's going to go in the ones place. So if you notice, we took our number 817 and we put it in this chart. Now, you can do this with any number. You can do this with 653. You can do this even with like 54. You see, it doesn't matter if you work from left to right and be able to identify the place values there. All right, so now let's take away these other numbers and leave 817. All right, so now we have three different ways. We have number form, we have word form, and now we have it on a place value. We can now use this chart right here to help us find the other forms that our math teachers are looking for. So let's go ahead and start with, I don't know, just regular old place values. Now, if you look here, we have 8. That doesn't equal 8, does it? It equals 8 in the hundreds place, so that's going to be 8 hundredths. So we put that here. This 1, well, that means there's only 1 tens, right? So we just write that there. And the 7 is in the ones place, so that's going to be 7 ones. All right. If you didn't know, this is already another way to write the number. We have 8 hundredths, 1 10, and 7 ones. See, that's breaking down the number by the value of the digits. Fairly easy, right? So far, we have found the easiest ways to write our numbers. Our next one's going to be even easier. Ready for this? We have that 8 hundredths, right? That's going to be 800. That's the value of that digit. That 110, well, that's now going to be just 10. And that 7 ones, well, you guessed it, it's just going to be 7. Now, we have an 800, we have a 10, and we have a 7. How does that show 817? Well, if I add addition symbols here, we have 800 plus 10 plus 7. Well, we know in our addition, if we add those digits up, it's going to equal 817. This is called expanded form. All right? Expanded just means make it bigger. It all equals the same. It equals the same thing as we said in standard form or number form. It equals the same thing we said in word form. It equals the same thing we did when we put it on the place value chart. And it equals the exact same thing when we just said 8 hundredths, 110, and 7 ones. Don't overthink it. All of these equal the same thing. Okay? Now, some people have said, well, sometimes my teacher gives me pictures. Sometimes they give me this thing. Well, if you look here, these are place value, and these are base 10 blocks. If you look, we have one that's kind of big. It's a big square. This big square will equal 100. This next one, you see, is like a line. It's like a rod. Well, these all equal 10. And these little ones right here, well, they equal 1. Fairly simple, correct? Well, how do we use those to describe our number? Well, let's go back to our chart. Here we have, if we go back to one of our charts where it said 8 hundredths, well, 8 hundredths, I have 8 of these blocks. Can I use 8 of these blocks to equal 800? Yes, I can. So I'm going to put those up there. So there's 8 of those blocks. How many 10s do we have? Just one. So we're only going to need one of those. And we have 7 ones. So if you look in picture form and in using the base 10 blocks, we have 800, 110, and 7 ones. Well, we already know using our chart before that it's going to equal, you guessed it, 817. So already now we have found 5 different ways to show the same number. We have got word form, we've got number form, we've got expanded form, we've got finding the place value form, and we've got picture form. Pretty easy, right? But it can get confusing when your teacher's asking you for the different kinds of forms. But if you create something like this chart, it should help you organize it just a little bit better. And then sometimes there's even other ways to show this visually. if you look right here, you see sometimes the teacher's asking you to find the value of the bundle of sticks here. Well, if you compare that to our base 10 blocks, the biggest bundle is going to be our biggest value, which is hundreds, right? So how many of these big bundles are we going to need for 817? Well, we look in the hundreds place value, we're going to need 8 of them. Then how many are we going to need for the tens? Well, we only need one medium-sized bundle. And then how many are we going to need for the ones? Well, just individual sticks. See, this is another way to visually show the number 817. All right? Now, if you take a look here, you can see all the different ways to show 817. It makes it pretty easy and organized, but we did the same thing on our chart, didn't we? And by us doing it and organizing it, whatever our teacher's asking of us, we can find it fairly easy just using this chart. The only thing we need to know is the exact name of what they're looking for. Now, if there's any other help you need, do not hesitate to reach out. My biggest advice is practice. Use Splash Learn, use iReady, practice. Ask Miss Lewis for some extra practice work. Ask me for some extra practice work. Practice makes better, but ultimately we have to find which form is the easiest for you. Which one makes the most sense? Now, if I went too fast in this video, I recommend going back and watching it again. Practice with me. So hopefully you were writing down everything that I was going over so you can see it. And then try a different number. See, the numbers here don't matter. It's the form you use to put the numbers in. All right? So if you need any more help, feel free to reach out. I'm always here, and I'm here to help. So ladies and gentlemen, good luck with your place values. Good luck with your forms. Good luck with your practice. And if you have any more questions, I'm here. All right? Have fun, have a great day, and don't stress so much about math. You got this, all right? See ya.